everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video about my pregnancy and my labor. Of course I'm not pregnant now, I'm just talking about Dominik when I was pregnant with him. I have preeclampsia, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you have protein in your urine, you have really high blood pressure, and you swell up like a balloon because of the blood pressure. And I'm pretty sure there's some other things, but that's all that I had. Let's see. I got it when I was, I think, 24 weeks, around 23 to 24 weeks. So it's pretty early to get it. And basically, if it's bad enough, they have to induce you, which is what they did with me. But I was 37 weeks and 4 days when I got induced, so I was pretty much in the clear then on him growing. But he's in here playing. But basically, when I was pregnant, it was really rough. I didn't look for videos on YouTube about it, but I should have. I don't know if there is any about it, because it's something that is really, it can be dangerous. It can be very, very dangerous, because during my labor, I couldn't move the whole time. Like, I couldn't walk around because I was in bed. If I stood up, his heart would stop. But, well, not exactly stop, it would go down, and we didn't let it get down far enough, because his blood, like, his heartbeat was 157, and if I would stand up, it dropped down to 40, so we just didn't do that. So during my labor, I laid in bed the whole time, and when I got induced, my blood pressure was 187 over 117. But for preeclampsia, that's kind of low, because some people are up in the 200s to 180s, and it gets crazy. So I was lucky. I was pretty lucky. I mean, it was really bad. I was on bed rest for 3 months before and 3 months after I had him because of how high risk I was. But, I mean, it's rough. There's a neighbor walking by. Anyways, yeah, so when I was pregnant, I got it around 23 to 24 weeks, and then I had high protein in my urine, and my blood pressure was riding at 160 over 90, I think. Yeah, around there. And luckily for me, I had a blood pressure cuff at home with Jared's parents, because his dad has high blood pressure, so they had it already, so I was lucky. And one day, I was supposed to be induced on March 22nd, and I think we had just brought Jared to work, and I came home, and I was like, for shits and giggles, I'm just going to check my blood pressure, and it was 187 over 117, and I kind of freaked out, and I was like, well, maybe we should go into labor and delivery, and I called my OB, and they were like, yeah, I'll just come in now, and I did, so they induced me that night. So, at that point, they gave me the pill, not the Cervidil, but it starts with a C. I don't remember what it was, but they put the pill in and wait for your cervix to soften and dilate and everything. And I was induced at 8 p.m. and they had to go back and get Jared because I had to go to Woodward, which is pretty far away from where I live, or where I lived at the time, and they had to bring me to the hospital, and then they had to come back and get Jared, and then come back again to bring him to the hospital with me. And I got induced at 8, and he got there around, I don't know, 9 or 10, and I didn't start progressing at all overnight. I started progressing really around 6 o'clock in the morning, and they popped my water at 9 o'clock, and I didn't get my epidural until I was already 9 centimeters dilated, it was rough. Man, I'm not one to have a high pain tolerance. I used to, but I don't anymore. But, man, contractions suck. That was the worst thing about the whole delivery. He's playing with things. Anyways, it was the worst part. And the lady came in and did my epidural, and I was finally okay. At that point, I didn't feel anything. Like, I couldn't feel giving birth. I couldn't feel anything, really. I had no pain after birth, really. I had to get the episiotomy, so they gave me stitches, and I felt her do the last stitch. So she had to give me lidocaine because they already stopped my epidural after I had him. And when I had him, he came out like spiraling, which is, not okay. I had to do a VBAC, which is where they put a vacuum on his head and pull him out. And when he came out, he wasn't breathing, and his heart stopped. So his doctor, the pediatrician, didn't make it in time for him being born because he was coming so quickly. I pushed, I think, all of 5 times, and then she noticed he was spinning, so she just went ahead and did the VBAC, so I didn't really push very long. And when I was pushing, I wasn't breathing, so they were trying to force the mask on me to breathe, and wasn't having it. I don't know, I go into shock when I go into pain, so that's just how that happened. But yeah, he wasn't breathing and his heart stopped. His heart came back like within seconds, and she brought him over to his little bed thing, or the incubator bed, and she got him breathing again, but it took 3 minutes to revive him completely. And he failed the APGAR twice, and he failed his hearing test the first day, and they had to redo the hearing test again. Basically, I don't really remember how high my blood pressure got, but I know it was riding 180 over 117, or 110, the whole entire labor, which is pretty rough because I don't know if I was going in and out of consciousness really, but I didn't feel anything and I couldn't think straight, but of course I was in labor anyway, so it's always kind of like that, I guess. So things were just kind of crazy at that point, and it was just me and Jer. And when I gave birth, his mom was in the room, which I kind of regret because she was pushing Jer out of the way. But she was pushing Jer out of the way to hold my legs when I needed him instead of her. But me and her don't get along very well. But she didn't really care about me, she just cared about the baby. But anyways, after he was born, we only stayed there for 24 hours. He didn't have to go to the NICU or anything. He did have jaundice, but it wasn't bad enough for us to have to stay. It went away pretty quickly, actually. He gets into everything. But basically, I was induced on the 18th when I was supposed to be induced on the 22nd. I was supposed to be induced on the 22nd because my doctor, was going on vacation. And she conveniently got back on the day that I had him. She said that her bags were still packed, or they were still in her car because they called her and she came directly to the hospital instead of going home and unpacking because she didn't make it in time, I guess, to go unpack. But yeah, that's just, it was crazy. It was rough. Yes, I'm going to do it again. It'll probably, if I do get preeclampsia again, it'll probably be worse than what it was. But I don't know if you do get it a second time. Some people do, some people don't. But I do want another child, so I'm risking it anyway. I gained 30 pounds and lost it all within a week after having him, because it was all baby weight, pretty much. Or not baby weight, but the fluids and the baby and everything itself. So after that, I lost the 30 pounds in a week. So, and man, my hair was falling out like crazy. I was still swollen after. I got on the IUD, the Loletta IUD after, which it didn't really help me. It made my migraines worse, and I mean, I didn't get pregnant for the whole time I had it, but it just caused me problems like that, like headaches, and I couldn't lose any weight, stuff like that. But I got it out 5 months ago, I think, and I've been losing weight and stuff ever since, and I still haven't gotten pregnant, but I've been trying, so we'll see how that goes. He's picking up trash. Does your baby pick up everything and put it in his mouth? Because mine is. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Yep. Pretty traumatic, but I just want people to know about preeclampsia. It could be very, very dangerous, so try to not stress out and try not to overdo it, because the swelling can get worse. You have to be on beta blockers, and that sucks too. Just relax, drink a lot of water, actually exercise because I didn't, and I regret not doing that. But anyways, that's all I got for today. He's fine and I'm fine and everything's good for now. Well, and don't stress too much because I don't want you to get preeclampsia to the point where your blood pressure is 200 and above because, man, I don't think I'd be able to handle it. But that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.